Hey, good morning, guys. My name is Duelforce, and today I'm going to be talking about my Uber and Lyft experience. Now, I just want you guys know that I've only been doing this part time, and this personal experience that I'll be talking about is me doing this part time, not full time. And this is all based on my personal experience and opinions. So with further ado, let's get into it. First, I want to start off with if you're, well, of course, anybody that's doing this job wants to do it for money, right? There's no other ways about it. So I personally have been driving for about 3 to 6 months, and then I stopped doing it for about 3 months, and then I just recently started doing it again because I needed some extra money. And I've been able to talk to some people here. I've met up some other Uber and Lyft drivers, and they've told me their personal experience from full time to just doing it on occasion and all that stuff. And I'm just here with just the facts, and the facts that I've presented are all personal experience. I don't want you guys to think that I'm putting anything else outside of this. Outside, like other people, I've seen some other people's YouTube channels, and they add a lot more stuff, but I'm not going to get 100% detail on the stuff they add for this video. But okay, so first things first, car. If you're going to be doing this, you need, well, first of all, Uber and Lyft state that you have to have a car around 10 years, I believe. It has to be like, what's today? Well, this year's 2019, so your car has to be anywhere between 2010 to 2019. Now it could be 2000. I'm forgetting my math here. 2009, basically. But you're basically at the end of the year, which would be troll for you. But anything basically within the 10-year gap, you should be fine to drive. If your car's if your car is 6 cylinders or more than that, if it's not 4, then I would probably really consider doing this, because the whole point is to make money and the gas comes out of you. So I have a 4-cylinder Kia, so I save up on gas when I'm driving. I know some people that I saw driving, they told me they stopped doing it because they don't have a 4-cylinder. They drive like 6 plus, 8 cylinders. You still might be able to make money on a 6 cylinders, but you're also depleting your income because you're burning gas a lot more, especially when you do these. Most of the drivers do drive for more than 6 hours, 8 hours, and you start seeing it in your gas tank. Now, if you do this full time, like I said, I've only done this part time, but if you do it full time, I know certain one of the apps like Lyft or Uber, I can't remember which one, give you special offers, but for gas, but that's only after you've been doing it for so long, meaning after you completed so many rides. So in order for you to grab those, you have to be a hardcore full-time. I'm not, so I don't rely on those perks, because I only do this here and there, and I don't think so. Like those can't be applied to me at all unless I decide to do full-time. I know some of you guys are asking, well, how much money do you make, Duelforce? And the answer is, I make about anywhere between 200 to 400 just by doing Friday and Saturday, and that's it. I only choose those 2 days, and on those 2 days I do about almost 6 to 8 hours, sometimes more depending on how I feel or how the trips are going. But that's my range, 200 to 400. It varies, and just on those 2 days alone. And I only do the night, meaning club time, party time. That's how most people, I believe, make the most of their money. Now, when I first started doing this, I was not making as much at all. I started testing the waters, and I drove just very little to make about 20-30 bucks per day, because I wanted to see how it was. And I chose the nighttime on purpose because I didn't want to be driving during busy times. I didn't want to learn how to use the app while driving during super busy moments. So I started at super night. I remember my first time, I think I started at around 11 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday. It wasn't a Friday, I know that for sure. And I just wanted to test the waters, and I did it very close to home just to see how the interactions would work. It did take me a while to get used to the apps, just because I couldn't find a proper tutorial. And when you do download the apps, there's not really a helpful guide on there, which I don't like. It's one of those learn things, and even people you pick up sometimes don't know how to use the app too. That's some of the things you have to deal with as well. But as I did it more and more, I got used to it. I got to see how it worked. I saw the system, and I saw how, like, make the most. And I try to figure out how the money system works. Just because I was looking at the thing, and sometimes here's a weird thing. And when you're driving, sometimes a 10-minute drive can be either $3 to 6, or a 10-minute drive can sometimes be up to $9, and it all depends on the location. And that's why a lot of people um, quit. It's because they just turn on the app and they think, oh, I'll just ride, people make money. No, there's a big difference in location. Location actually plays a very big part in the way you make money, because if you're taking people in locations where there's tons of stop signs, like have, I don't know how to word this, but there's places where it's pure housing, like nothing but housing, stop signs at every corner, and the more deeper you go, the more stop signs, and it's just housing, nothing else. One of the horrible things about dropping people in those kind of locations is that you spend a lot of time to get to their location, and there's not a lot of income in doing so, because once you drop them off, if the location is not a big area where there's bars or stuff, you're not going to get another customer for a while, and you're going to have to drive out of that area, meaning you have to drive all those stops and goes, and that's a big waste of time. And this happened to me yesterday, which I thought was going to be a busy party night in my area, but it wasn't. So I ended up not doing more than 3 hours, and I just ended up calling it. And a lot of people that I was driving were only going 3 miles away, and they weren't going any further than that. They weren't going to party areas. They're going to like local areas, or just to like 7-Elevens, or just hanging out with other friends to drink inside their house. And I remember on one trip I spent about 10 minutes, and I only made $3. And to get to the next person, it was going to be another 10-minute drive. And I drove to pick him up, and he was only another 3 miles away. It was really frustrating because I was burning more gas and I was gaining very little income in return. So the location really does matter. For the most part, if you start doing this and you're not making a lot of money at the beginning, it's very normal for that to happen, because you don't know where the main locations are, you know where good areas are. For me, I found out because I live near Riverside. I don't want to give out my exact location, but I live around Riverside, and I know like certain bars and certain places and clubs that have good income. I even know some of the location housings of people that like to go to certain clubs. So I mostly would start near a close place to home, and majority of these people will for sure take me as far as Pomona, the opposite sometimes to downtown, in Riverside. And then from there I go back and forth, and I make good money because it's near the freeway. It's near the 210 and the 10, and I get on the freeway, I get to their destinations quick. Even if it's not a long trip, the fact that I'm near a freeway, I cut through a lot of stops and goes. The only problem that I have sometimes is some of these people go from like a club to a very, like I said, a place where there's nothing but stop and go. But that one trip was worth it. It's just trying to get out of there and not get stuck in those locations where you have to drive another 5 minutes to get to someone that only goes like 3 miles. So a lot of the times what I would do is, if I find myself in one of these locations that just I know consume more time and waste more of my time and gas than me making income, what I would do is I would turn off my app, and I'll drive to locations that I know have people that make me drive, 20 miles, 30 miles on one-way trips. And that's just personal experience you gain if you do this correctly and you make a game plan. Like I said, this is my personal experience. So if you're not going to make a game plan and you're just gonna wing it, the highly chance, just me being honest, the highly chance of you making good income and making a good review about this is not going to happen. I watch a lot of these YouTube videos that are very negative, and they are talking about how don't waste your money, don't waste your time, don't waste your car. It's like these people sometimes don't feel like they make effort. Remember, this is like a personal, your business, your time, your hours. You need to make a game plan. There's no boss that tells you what to do. There's no boss that tells you this is the hours. This is all personal information you need to find out about your local areas. If your local area, or if you don't want to drive too far, and your local area doesn't have like these high level bars or clubs, and yeah, maybe it won't work out for you. I know for sure for the fact anybody that's working in Corona, like right, I live in California. Anybody that lives in Corona and decides to do Uber and Lyft, it's not a good idea if you're gonna do nothing but Corona, because there's nothing there. I've been there before. There's no bars. There's no nothing. It is a horrible place to do Uber and Lyft. There's no point. And a lot of people that make these negative YouTube videos don't take the time to make a game plan. They just wing it. They're upset. They make a horrible video about why you shouldn't do Uber and Lyft. And that's that. Now, I'm not going to tell you should or you shouldn't. I'm just telling you what I've been through and my personal experience. I don't consider this a full-time job. I like my full-time job. I'm just telling you experience from a part-timer and how much I make as a part-timer. And again, that part-time number is 200 to 400 for 2 days. I do 8 hours. I do 8 p.m. to like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm gonna leave it here for this video. I'll probably make more parts. Also, while I was recording this, I made a mistake. I said 11 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday. I meant 11 p.m. So sorry about that. 11 p.m. is when I started, because there's no traffic, nighttime, there's less cars, and it was more safer for me to start off with. If you're new and you're nervous, I would suggest pick a time where it's kind of dead. I know you're not going to make a lot of money, but you'll get comfortable with the app. If you get comfortable with the app, it's a lot better for you. Just because these tutorials kind of don't help, and the app has probably changed since the last time you've seen some of these other YouTube videos. The apps have changed a lot. I'll probably make more videos depending on how this one goes. There's the other subject I want to talk about is the people you're going to introduce, the people you're going to encounter, the stuff you should get for your car, personal stuff you should get for the car, and then how to deal with certain apartment driving, because you're going to deal with people that have to go to apartments. But like I said, that's another time for the story. I'm just going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoy. I do stream on Twitch and Mixer. I go by Duelforce. Still not sure which platform I should stick to. I want to stick to one platform, that's it, as a streamer, but I'm still new to the YouTube stuff, and I don't know which platform I should really pick. If you guys like this video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you want to. And any feedback is really appreciative. Thank you and goodbye.